Hello and welcome to Flory Models. Here we are with you on the 21st of September 21. Jesus, this month has absolutely flown by. I don't honestly know where it's gone. I know I've been busy with stuff, but yeah, just literally this year is screaming by. Anyway, just really a little tiny catch up for you today, just to let you know what's going on. As a lot of you do know, I did mention it last week, we're having a new road. It's a private road, we have to pay for it and all the rest of it. So they are ripping out the old one, putting the new one in. They ripped it all out yesterday. They're on lunch now, so that's why I thought I'd get in with it whilst it's a little bit quiet and do you a little bit of a catch up to see what's going on in that. But as I say, there's no point me trying to film because it's bad enough when there's an echo or something that people complain, let alone JCBs and road ripping machines and all the rest of it out there. It ain't going to work at all. So I'm going to have a couple of days just to sort other things out and I'll get back to filming as we make our way on. But what I did do first thing this morning whilst it was quiet is do a quick review of this little guy. Now, full inspiration and kudos goes to one of the members who's building a sub. Saw that and thought, do you know what, that would make a really good video build. So I've done the review of this one. Matt sent it down to me from PM Models. It looks absolutely lovely. It's quite big. It's the length of this box in theory and probably a little bit. I think it is, I've got a measurement down in here somewhere. It is 48 centimeters long. So it is a little bit longer than this box, so it's not tiny. It's got a beautiful little stand with it as well, but to be honest with you, it's quite complicated how it goes together. It isn't just two halves and a conning tower on the top. There's quite a bit to go in. So from that point of view, I think it'll be a really interesting build because we've got seam lines galore to tackle and polish out and make sure they're good before you can move on with anything type painting wise. And there's a lot to it. There's actually quite a few parts into this one, lots of tiny little fiddly bits, so that'll be good as well. But the big thing is, you can see on the back, I often talk about not painting black. That's exactly why. It just doesn't look realistic. It looks like a toy. So we're going to be trying to replicate something more on the cover with this one. So we'll be using purples and blues and greys and things like that to break up the black work to give it a more authentic look onto it. It's going to be straightforward out of the box, but again, there's 1,000,001 decals make up the actual the sort of cheat line down the side, and it's like, yeah, that ain't going to work. So we're going to have to paint that in and talk about doing straight lines and things like that as well. So it should be a lot of fun with this one. I'm going to be starting this one probably in about a week's time going forward. It's going to be slow progress because there'll be a buttload of sanding and filling to take care on this one. But it's quite detailed. It should be a really fun kit. So that's going to be my entry into the Conrad Buller SIG. And again, for anyone who's asking, I think it first entered service in around about 1970s, mid 70s. The particular version I was doing, I think, was 1982. It went into service, so I do count. So that one's going to be coming along with that one. The reason for having these two is to talk about, obviously, we're covering at the moment the actual airbrushing, which we will carry on with. We'll be looking at detail. Next one is laying down big areas of paint, big squares of paint. How do you do it to get a nice, good finish onto it? Then we'll be talking about different types of camo. So we'll be talking, obviously, about hard edge camo, which is pretty much what we did with the Vulcan. Then we'll be talking about soft edge camo and feathered camo and things like that, how to do those as well. So that'll be sort of finishing along. And then, obviously, we'll be going into things like, obviously, with the weathering, how that sort of interacts with things as well on models. So we'll be doing those as we make our way through. So to tie in with these, we're going to be using these two Revell kits for actual construction work, putting together and all the rest of it. And then obviously we can use those talking about different types of glues for different areas, sanding, filling, rescribing, and obviously re-riveting, because, quite frankly, they're both going to need it. So we can do proper videos on those. So I think that'll help out a lot of modelers as well. But then from the paint side of it, obviously we've got, doing the P51, depending on obviously the markings are in, we're probably going to go with something metally, but as we know, it's puttied wings. So we'll be talking about silvers and metallizers, how to go about doing those. So that's what we can use the P51 for. And then the Spitfire, obviously, for doing normal camo work. But the reason for dragging out a 32nd scale Spitfire is I'm going to do something I normally don't do. I'm going to completely over weather it. So I'm going to fade it right back, and then we're going to heavily weather it and all the rest of it. I know it doesn't look realistic, but I love that style of modeling. I think it looks really nice when they're bleached out. So we're going to be doing that and talking about showing that, and then obviously going through with oils and chipping and all those good things onto it. And obviously, because it's grey and green camo and the lighter grey underneath, it really lends itself really well on the Spitfire, and it's a nice size to be able to show on camera. So that's the plan at the moment. So this is the sort of trio we're going to be working on. They're not going to be full-on video builds like we've shown before, because they're going to be used as tutorial ones, because let's face it, we've done a Spitfire and we've done a Mustang before, be it Tamiya's versions. So this is the more cut down budget way of doing it. But again, for what we need, we don't need engines and cockpits and all those things like that. We just want overall shapes to hopefully improve and obviously get you up to speed on basic, modeling ways, tools, how to use them, when it goes wrong, those types of things like we're talking about with all of these. And then when we do move into paintwork, we've got 2 beautiful canvases to work on, metal and silver finishes, and obviously camo finishes and stuff like that. So that should be quite a nice one as it makes its way through. And roughly about the same time when we're going through painting, this little lady will come up as well, being in this type of thing. And to say you've got purples and blues and blacks in there and all the different grey streaks going into it, how to break things up. So I think between all of these over the next month or two, it should be a lot of fun to go through all of these ones. So that's the plan with that one. Talking of which, things like that, obviously next part of the Vulcan went up yesterday, which was part 10, and I know some of you briefly saw part 12. That was where I uploaded it. Obviously I've done it all and it's all finished and everything, and when I get a spare couple of minutes and the computer's not doing anything, I'll get it uploading. So I was uploading part 12 onto this one, and obviously it made it live straight away, which I didn't realise it had. But anyway, it has been pulled off, and obviously it will go up in a back end of next week, or obviously on Monday even, if I haven't got anything else to put up in the meantime. But anyway, she is looking very nice. She's done. What I am going to do as well, and it's something I wanted to do this week, but obviously with that lot out there, it's not going to happen, is going to do a bonus part on weathering this one. So I'm going to do a little bit more weathering to it. I wanted to do it straightforward out of the box and pretty much as is, purely because it's a freebie that's up on YouTube. But what I'm going to do is a bonus part on this as well, where we're going to weather it up a little bit more. So we're going to use some oils, a little bit of post shading, things like that, into just to knock her back and bring her back a little bit. But generally she's fine as is for a straightforward out of the box build, but we want to do something a little bit more special. So that'll be a bonus part there for the members on that one as we make our way through. So that's going well on there. Don't forget, we got Flory Fest isn't this weekend, it's the following weekend. So again, we're going to have special deals, prizes, we'll be doing demoing. Hopefully I'll get a lot of this lined up for that as well, so we can talk about all things like that, and obviously you guys can get involved as we make our way through on there. Last up to say, I'm getting loads of people, and I know Matt's getting it as well. I'm still out of stock of a particular type of sander. It's actually the skinny version of the weathering and polishing sticks. I am onto said manufacturer. The thing is, the actual green side of the paper comes from the US and it's stuck in customs, but I'm hoping it will get cleared this week. We get manufactured and they'll be in. But I know there's people waiting on starter sets, on full sets, and obviously on the skinny sets, not alone, you know, and obviously them as a standalone item as well. But hopefully they will be back in within the next week. God forbid if they're not, because heads are going to roll. Because they've actually been on order now for over 6 months. But yeah, half of it's Brexit, half of it's coronavirus and everything else. So yeah, it affects me like everybody else. But hopefully they will be soon. So hold tight, everyone. Put your name down on the wait list, not just here, but obviously at Flory Models. I know probably Brett's going to be getting low as well, and everybody else is that stocks our stuff. So, but as soon as they're in, I'll get them done, and they'll go out to the actual said stockists all around the world and things like that, and they'll be doing good. Anyway, that's it from me. Don't forget, we'll be back with you for the PM show tomorrow. So make sure that obviously if you've got any questions for that, please post them up today, because obviously we would normally record it around about 9 o'clock in the morning as well. So obviously sometimes the questions come in just as we finish. So make sure you've got any questions for the PM show up nice and early. On Thursday night's discussion for the live show is all things Edard. So obviously we want to showcase a manufacturer. So we'll be talking about Edard. To be honest, I've got a lot of Edard stuff here. So we can showcase some of that, some of the good, some of the bad, some of the positively ugly kits that they've done, and then obviously looking at their aftermarket side of it, your thoughts on it and things like that. Remember, if you've got a conversation you're having and just talking about it, wait until Thursday and then post it up on the actual video itself on the daily vlog page. Again, so you obviously have us at the video at the top, post it down below there, because if you put it in questions, they have to get deleted, and then obviously they'll never be seen again and stuff like that. So if it's not a question, please wait and post it on Thursday. I usually put it up around about Thursday lunchtime on there, purely because then the conversation can keep flowing and we don't need threads starting all over the place afterwards. So that way the video's at the top, you can see us talking about it, and then you can add all your thoughts down below. If you've got a genuine question for us about Edard or something else, remember, keep it quite short, then we can read it out and do it. But if it's just a statement, obviously we're not reading all of those out, because all we do is just sat here reading out what everyone can read. So there's not a lot of point of us just doing things like that. So again, if you've got a question, please post up in the question area. If you've just got a statement or want to talk about it, please wait until the video link has gone up on the actual daily vlog page, which will obviously be the Thursday vlog. Post it in there, and then people can keep the conversation going well after the show's finished, because otherwise it will just get deleted along with all the other stuff. So it's a fresh start for next week as we make our way through. Anyway, that's it from me. Don't forget, you can go off and see the review of the Zvezda 1 to 350 scale. This is the Delta 4 nuclear sub. That's up with you just down below here. So till tomorrow, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
Bye.